Hello everyone, welcome back to Optimize Evony. This is the third series in the Leveling Up Your Buffs series. As I promised in the last one, I will be talking about Blazons in this video. And really, I get a ton of questions about Blazons, but in practicality, they are quite simple. They're actually exceedingly simple. That's not to say that they aren't obnoxious and really frustrating. They are, but they're very, very simple. You can essentially think of Blazons as refining, but with no skill, with just luck, right? Which is, I guess, basically what refining is. So basically, to get into your Blazons, you can click on one of your troop buildings, and you have four different types of Blazons, right? You have your ground, your mount, ranged, and siege Blazons, and each one of them you have six of them. Basically, two again, exactly like refining, Evony likes taking the concept of refining and using it all over the place. You have two that are targeting attack. Those are those two. Two that are targeting HP. Those are those two. And then these two which are targeting defense for each troop type. And so basically to get your blazons, you'll open up the blazon packs that you can get from sphinxes, from packs packs that you're buying, and whatever. And then basically what I do after I open up any blazons is I'll go and I'll apply a filter. So basically I have selected all of the different troop types. I don't really care about the blazon type because there still is most of these I'm working on kind of optimizing. And then I only care about the attack, defense, and HP, the actual buffs on it. So only give me ones that have those. And then effective conditions is attacking, defending, or overall. You can do in rally as well. Particularly for some things, particularly if you're like a rally joiner, you can the in rally buffs are tend to be much higher than like the overall buffs, for example. I don't really worry too much about the on monsters, at least not yet. Once I've maxed out everything else, then I'll probably work on a monster set. But uh, just for my filters, I am not concerned about the monsters yet. And then basically, I choose ones that have two identical buffs because I want my Blazons to be as close to perfect as they can. And so um, when I go and select one, for example, let's actually use this filter. So confirm. Um, okay, you can see this one I'm already starting to work on a little bit. Uh, this one, okay, I see what type it is, and I see what the basic stats are. And so this one is defending mount troop HP for both of them. Obviously defending mount troop HP is a super, super important stat to prevent all of your mounts from dying from rallies, solos, whatever. And so this is one that I'm starting to work on. And so yeah, if I find one that I like, I will essentially click lock to prevent it from being used when you're upgrading your Blazons. And as you can see, I have way too many that are locked. Not all of them are perfect. I actually probably need to go and unlock some of them so that they can be used for upgrading and stuff like that. The other thing is there is a limit to how many you can have open at a time. Um, but I think the important thing here is you want to have a good starting piece before you move on to try and upgrade them and unlocking different attributes. So, yeah, for example, if you're going for defending mount troop HP, you really want one that has two defending mount troop HP. I mean, depending on your level of coining and how lucky you're getting with opening blazons, maybe you'll accept an overall one that's basically just says mount troop HP, and the percent, not defending, attacking in rally. reinforcing, whatever the other qualifiers they have. But yeah, there's certain situations where you would want one versus the other. So let's kind of get into that. Uh, so the other basics here are you basically have set bonuses as well. Again, very similar to gear and refining. You have set bonuses, and basically there's two different ones for each troop type. There's typically an attacking one, and then there's typically a defending one. So for ground troop, you can see the attacking one, has these stats, and the last one is marching stats. If I switch to a defending stats, you see the last one is defending, and then there's more debuffs when you're defending for that one. Um, and similar to that on the range troop as well, attacking versus defending. Um, Make sure I switch these back because I never look at these unless I'm working on them. Mount troop is attacking. The difference is the secondary one for mount troops. I don't actually have one here, but let me just find one. So if we look at here, this is the other one for mounts, and this one is all monster mount HP mount buffs on monster. So if you're attacking monsters a lot, this is a good one for you. I would say you're really not going to be switching your Blazons all that much. Maybe it makes sense to have a monster one if you're a pretty big coiner, and if you have a lot of Blazons to spare. But otherwise, you really should be focusing on your PvP ones and not just your more monster-based ones. And then Siege again, you have attacking, and then defending set, where you have the defending buffs here. And so you really need to pick what. So, okay, first of all, you should really be focusing on completing the set, right? Because the important one is actually this third one, which you need all six of them to be the same type for it to unlock. And so whether you're going attacking or defending, you want to make sure that all six are the same set. So even while you're just starting out, they should all six be the same set, whichever set you want to get. And then as you get specific pieces that you want. So for example, this one I wanted siege attack overall because I don't actually switch Blazons all that much, and so I want it on both attacking and defending. And so I had these two here. Great, I found this blazon. Now I'm going to put this in. I'm going to lock it in. I'm going to, set my set or save my set here so that I don't lose that. Um, but you have to essentially pick one or the other that you're going to focus on, and then lock in with that, right? And so um, it doesn't really matter too much which one you choose. I mean, it does matter, right? Like, but it's going to be different for everyone. For me, I go mostly attacking sets because I do a lot more attacking than I do defending. Um, but depending on your size, depending on how you play, you can set it up differently. You can pick the defending ones, get it extra debuffs, get a little bit extra buffs on defense. The only one again that I would say don't do that. Only do the attacking set for the mounts because there is no defending set here. And so you can pick defending attributes, right? Like I showed you one that was defending mount troop HP, and this one's actually going to get switched out with one that has both defending mount troop HP eventually um, on an attacking set, but you should use the attacking set for the mount troop. For the other ones, it matters a little bit less. Range troop, I would say you probably want the attacking set, right? Ranged are used for attacking quite often, and defending ranged stats tend to be less important, right? Once you once you're getting to the point where your range are getting hit, you're very close to being zeroed. If you're not, a massive player and getting siege rallied and stuff like that. And if you are, you're probably much better to have the better attacking buffs than the defending buffs. Ground troop, I actually initially started out with defending ground because I was like, well, I need my ground buffs to be a little bit better on defense. But then I've recently switched to attacking to try and get some more of those big ground solos, ground clears, stuff like that. Um, and so yeah, so basically you can choose the overall ones that you want. Again, this is this is what I'm targeting here is I want as much defending mount troop HP as possible. Um, and so then you basically pick that first one and then you'll click upgrade and you'll add additional blazons that you want to upgrade or that you want to consume to upgrade. Right now I just upgraded some of my Blazons, so I don't actually have any. I have to wait until the next Sphinx event. And so then basically, once you get to level 10, you'll unlock a random third skill. So in this case, you can see in rally mount troop HP. I didn't pick this. I would much rather have this be defending mount troop HP or just overall mount troop HP. But in rally mount troop HP is actually not too bad. But it is random. And then, once you unlock that and you've locked in one that you really like, then the next random attribute will unlock at 15. And so basically it's again there's very little skill to this. It's just blind luck because you can have you can have a very very lucky day or you can have a very very unlucky day. So for example, this one mount troop defense ones, that's kind of what I want. And then mount troop defense on monsters, that's not what I want. I want to actually re-roll this. So I'm essentially going to unlock this one once I get another one that I want to replace it with, and I have enough blazons to upgrade it. And I'll replace that. I'll actually consume this one because I don't need it anymore, and I hope for a better third skill here. So let's look at one that is a little bit better. Um, this one, so for example, I got marching ground troop attack, marching ground troop attack. That's what I started with. I unlocked ground troop attack on the third one. I was like, okay, well, that's maybe not quite as good as marching ground troop attack for, specifically for attacking, but it's good enough. And so I kept going, and I unlocked this marching ground troop attack in the fourth spot. And I was like, wow, I was incredibly lucky with this. For example, most of the time you get to the third spot, you have to re-roll it, multiple times, and it's just really frustrating because you have to get again the perfect base ones, and then you have to get the luck for the third one. And then even if you get a good one for the third one, a lot of times you'll have it messed up by the fourth one. I think I certainly have ones like that, like a range troop load. That's utterly useless. I'm not going to upgrade this any further because even though it has perfect first three stats, the range troop load is just a throwaway stat. And so you're shooting for long-term gain here, right? You're not doing this for short term. If you're doing this for short term, you're going to waste a lot of blazons and you're going to have kind of mediocre buffs. So yeah, against essentially again, it's just luck with this. You basically pick the first two, then you go for the third. If the third's what you want or good enough for what you want, then you'll upgrade to level 15. Uh, Most of the time you'll essentially be stopping there. Don't throw it away immediately, right? Like wait until you can unlock a new one and one that's going to be better. So for example, I still have this one running here because it gives me an extra 33% marching range troop attack, which is certainly better than nothing. but is nothing compared to the overall kind of completed one. And so, yeah, essentially it's just an iterative process. It'll take a long time. You'll get frustrated. I know you will. I have gotten very frustrated with Blazons, but it's not hard. As long as you follow the set bonuses, you get the starting ones, and then you slowly work on getting the sets that you want. And I would say focus on the sets that are most important to you. I focused a little bit more on the siege initially, and then the range initially. You can see those ones are more red. I do have to switch out a number of them, but you can see just by the fact that they're red that I've worked a little bit more on them than, for example, the mounts. And some of this is just luck, quite frankly. Quite frankly, like I just have not been getting good initial rolls for a lot of these. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. It's really, like I said, not complicated. Uh, don't be afraid of it. It's just very annoying, but if you don't do it at all, you're losing out on really good buffs, and really good debuffs if you pick the debuff set. So yeah, that's all I had for this one. If you're brand new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. I am doing this series on how to grow your PvP buffs so that you can be a uh, productive member of your team in battlefields and SVS and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, please do subscribe, and I will keep putting out these videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.